Do you know the meaning of not too far, not too close?
And we even text at funerals. I study this. We remove ourselves from our grief or from our reverie, and we go into our phones. Why does this matter? It matters to me because I think we're setting ourselves up for trouble. Trouble certainly in how we relate to each other, but also trouble in how we relate to ourselves, in our capacity for self-reflection. We're getting used to a new way of being alone together. People want to be with each other, but also elsewhere, connected to all the different places they want to be. People want to customize their lives. They want to go in and out of all the places they are, because the thing that matters most to them is control over where they put their attention. So you want to go to that board meeting, but you only want to pay attention to the bits that interest you. And some people think that's a good thing. But you can end up hiding from each other, even as we're all constantly connected to each other. 50-year-old businessman laments to me that he feels he doesn't have colleagues anymore at work. When he goes to work, he doesn't stop by to talk to anybody, he doesn't call, and he says he doesn't want to interrupt his colleagues because he says they're too busy on their email. But then he stops himself and he says, you know, I'm not telling you the truth. I'm the one who doesn't want to be interrupted. I think I should want to, but actually I'd rather just do things on my BlackBerry. Across the generations, I see that people can't get enough of each other if and only if they can have each other at a distance in amounts they can control. I call it the Goldilocks effect. Not too close, not too far, just right. But what might feel just right for that middle-aged executive can be a problem for an adolescent who needs to develop face-to-face relationships. An 18-year-old boy who uses texting for almost everything says to me wistfully, someday, but certainly not now, I'd like to learn how to have a conversation. When I ask people, what's wrong with having a conversation? People say, I'll tell you what's wrong with having a conversation. It takes place in real time, and you can't control what you're going to say. So that's the bottom line. Texting, email, posting, all of these things let us present the self as we want to be. We get to edit, and that means we get to delete. And that means we get to retouch the face, the voice, the flesh, the body. Not too little, not too much, just right. Human relation.
Okay, got an idea about it. Okay, I just opened this question for a few minutes. Then please have a small discussion with your partner. Then one of you would answer this question. Do you know the meaning of not too far, not too close, just right? Okay? Discuss with your group members. One of you would answer this question. Give me a chance. One of you have to answer this question before we have a discussion. You can use language for a discussion. The first one is basically what is just one thing. Very good distance. You know the feeling of your friend at the time, and he knows your feelings.
Because when you're meeting with friends, maybe you should pay attention to him, not like so you need
Time's
to
up.
get them back.
So who is going
If you
to
didn't-
share? Who is going to share? I think who will share? It is yes.
do the right things on right time. For example, when you are eating dinner with your friends, and maybe the time is more important to chat with your friends, not to fight with yourself. So I think she means you need to get the balance.
Balance. How about you? You are going to answer this question. You can say anything. Next, say something. Oh. Okay, he means if we use software, we can connect people. The person, we can communicate with the person. The distance between you and your friends can be closer. Oh, the person does not know your emotion. Or the person cannot catch two more information from you. But only just have a very simple application. You have consultation. Let me think about that. Then how about you? The last group is who is going to answer this question? Okay, please.
No matter how far you stand between somebody who is talking to me and me, if we have the right time and we can know and we understand each other, then it's just right.
Okay. If only if we understand each other, then that means just right. Okay. Then we have 10 questions. Would you rather text than talk? If your answer is yes, please raise your hand. Would you rather text than talk? No, no, no. 你宁可送简讯，也不要跟人家讲话。Would you rather text than talk? If your answer is no, raise your hands. No. Okay. Hands down. Me too. I like to talk to people. I don't like to send you text messages instead. Okay, the last question. Do you like the robot be your best friend? Robot. The robot has no feelings. Let me show you.
Relationships are rich and they're messy, and they're demanding. And we clean them up with technology. And when we do, one of the things that can happen is that we sacrifice conversation for mere connection. We shortchange ourselves. And over time, we seem to forget this, or we seem to stop caring. I was caught off guard when Stephen Colbert asked me a profound question. A profound question. He said, don't all those little tweets, don't all those little sips of online communication add up to one big gulp of real conversation? My answer was no. They don't add up. Connecting in sips may work for gathering discrete bits of information. They may work for saying, I'm thinking about you, or even for saying, I love you. I mean, look at how I felt when I got that text from my daughter. But they don't really work for learning about each other, for really coming to know and understand each other. And we use conversations with each other to learn how to have conversations with ourselves. So a flight from conversation can really matter because it can compromise our capacity for self-reflection. For kids growing up, that skill is the bedrock of development. Over and over I hear, I would rather text than talk. And what I'm seeing is that people get so used to being shortchanged out of real conversation, so used to getting by with less, that they become almost willing to dispense with people altogether. So, for example, many people share with me this wish that someday a more advanced version of Siri, the digital assistant on Apple's iPhone, will be more like a best friend, someone who will listen when others won't. I believe this wish reflects a painful truth that I've learned in the past 15 years. That feeling that no one is listening to me is very important in our relationships with technology. That's why it's so appealing to have a Facebook page or a Twitter feed, so many automatic listeners. And the feeling that no one is listening to me makes us want to spend time with machines that seem to care about us. We're developing robots, they call them sociable robots, that are specifically designed to be companions to the elderly, to our children, to us. Have we so lost confidence that we will be there for each other? During my research, I worked in nursing homes, and I brought in these sociable robots that were designed to give the elderly the feeling that they were understood. And one day I came in, and a woman who had lost a child was talking to a robot in the shape of a baby seal. It seemed to be looking in her eyes. It seemed to be following the conversation. It comforted her. And many people found this amazing. But that woman was trying to make sense of her life with a machine that had no experience of the arc of a human life. That robot put on a great show. And we're vulnerable. People experience pretend empathy as though it was a real thing. So, during that moment when that woman was experiencing that pretend empathy, I was thinking, that robot can't empathize. It doesn't face death. It doesn't know life. And as that woman took comfort in her robot companion, I didn't find it amazing. I found it one of the most wrenching, complicated moments in my 15 years of work. But when I stepped back, I felt myself at the cold, hard center of a perfect storm. We expect more from technology and less from each other. And I asked myself, why have things come to this?